Hello, all you degenerate old schoolers, and welcome back to another episode of The Orb. This is Xpoints 45 Finals. You should be pumped if you're not. We have last month's champion, Joel, reigning in from Sweden, and he is battling to keep his crown against the USA's designated end boss, Lucas. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Let's take a look at these decks. And here's a look at Joel's deck. This is a lean, mean fighting machine. 4 Savannah Lions, 4 Atog, 4 Dib, 1 Sage of Latinam to round out the creature package, and then he's got a full burn package. 4 Bolts, Psyblast, and Chain Lightnings. Got all the extra punishing cards, Black Vice and Ankh of Mishra. 2 Copper Tablet. I absolutely love Copper Tablet, and when I started playing old school, I always had a couple in my deck to pair with the Atogs. Mostly because I didn't have a playset of Moxen, and they sacrifice real well to Atog. He does run 1 Earthquake, a Wheel, a little extra brown mana. I mean, his points are 3 into the Soul Ring, 2 more into the Ruby. He is also running 3 into his Mishra's Factories. I love that Fork sitting up there. Fork is so good, and Lucas likes to cast Ancestral Recall, so he can fork away and get a recall of his own. His last 2 points sit with the Wheel of Fortune, and then the sideboard he has 2 Meek Stones, a City in a Bottle, Detonate, Disintegrate, a couple Falling Stars, which are, I think, extra special in Xpoints, Hercules, a Transmute Artifact, 3 Gloom, and 3 Circle of Protection, 1 red and 2 black. So, nice well-rounded board. Let's take a look at Lucas's deck. And here's a look at Lucas's pile for the month. I believe he refers to this as his Grixis Xpoint deck. It's red, it's black, it's blue, and it's angry. He has 5 points sunk into the Ancestral Recall, 1 Recall, Brain Geyser, and 1 Mana Drain round out all of his points. Creatures, yeah, got a playset of Sedge Trolls, a playset of Darrellors, and 2 Modis for 10 creatures. 6 counterspells, well, 4 counterspells and 2 power sinks. Lightning Bolts, Fireballs, a couple Shatters, some mana ramp in the form of Fellwar Stones, Icy Manipulators because they're a good disruptor, the standard Chaos Orb, and 2 Control Magics. What a pain in the ass. With those 2 control magics. I guess I did forget that Maze of Ith for his last point. He does run 1 Maze. Maze works very, very well. Especially when you need to slow your opponent down a little bit. Or if you have a mismatched block or mismatched attack, Maze saves the day. In his sideboard, he does run 1 Disc, 1 Greed, 2 Terrors, 1 of his own Falling Stars, 3 Shatter Storms, and 2 extra Shatters to take care of all those artifacts. A couple Red Elemental Blasts, Blue Elemental Blasts, and an Amnesia for those big, long controlling games. So, we know this deck's done well. We know Joel's deck's done well. The question is, who's going to do the best today? Off to the games. Xpoint 45 Finals, here we go. By the way, this happened this morning. Joel won the barn raising competition, so he gets to play first. Lucas is on the draw. Joel took a mulligan, and Lucas took 2 mulligans, so he starts with 5 cards in hand. Joel brings the heat with a Volcanic and a Black Vice. Turn number 1. Lucas takes a point, drops to 19, and shows him a mountain. Joel plays a Tundra, tapping 2 for an Ankh of Mishra. Way to lock the game down, starting right away. Lucas loses a point to the Black Vice, goes to 18, and passes after playing out an island. I guess he does lose 2 and goes to 16 from that island. Oh, look at this. Second Ankh of Mishra. That is nightmarish. Lucas does have an answer in the form of a Shatter. And that takes him off the Black Vice Pain train. Only 4 in hand. Kind of lucky he didn't start with all 7. Plays out another island and drops to 14. 6 damage already in from those 2 artifacts. He does squeak out a Sedge Troll. It is unprotected. There's no black mana, so he's not a 3/3, just a 2/2. And a Chain to the Troll's face. So Joel's serving up some crispy Sedge Troll. Luke's on the play again, finds a Volcanic, drops him down to 12. He finds an Icy Manipulator. So he's out of Black Vice damage range, well out of it. And moving on to more of a control, I got you with my Icy. Joel plays a land of his own, Badlands, loses 2 life, goes to 18. First blood into him. First damage into him, and he plays out an Atog. Atog does have some artifacts there to gobble up. And there's that Maze of Ith. That puts Lucas down to 10. Half this game's over for him. Looks like in the upkeep he's going to go ahead and tap something to Joel's. I'm sure it's a land, as he has the maze to deal with. The Atog. Joel's tapping 3. And showing him a Psyblast straight to the fakes. Lucas drops to 6. Joel's on 16. If you're on the burn deck, you have to be feeling pretty good here. Atog trying to sneak in, but Lucas turns his maze sideways and says, "Put that shit back." Lucas tapping 3, recall for 1, ditches a Volcanic and grabs a Shatter. Yeah, that's pretty good. Like he uses and abuses those recalls. In this case, just getting rid of some of those artifacts is going to be huge. So Luke is still tapping down one of Joel's lands. So he takes the Badlands out in the upkeep. Joel tapping 2, finding a Sage of Latnium. So yeah, he's got 2 artifact-eating creatures out there. And the Sage is kind of cool because it gives him a little gas here. Oh, Alchemishra down. To the Shatter. And a bolt to the Sage's face. So Sage was not long for this world. Lucas punished him with a lightning bolt. That Bearded Knowledge is in the graveyard. Oh, here's another Psyblast. Dropping Lucas to 2. Joel's down to 14. But 2 is dangerous. Never go below 3. When you're dealing with a burn deck, that's for sure. So Lucas does find a Sedge Troll. That's a real creature. He's now a 3/3 and has the ability to regenerate. Lucas still tapping down a land of Joel's every turn. Joel's tapping 2. New Ankh of Mishra. Wow. Sedge Troll swinging in here. Atog's blocking. And Sedge Troll just wins that fight. Upkeep, Lucas is still keeping Joel off land. The ability to use his own mana. Badlands being tapped again. Two more for a new ATOG. And back over to Lucas. Here comes that Sedge Troll again. Joel's providing a blocker and sacrificing a black Vice to it. I think he's gotten the use out of the Vice, even though it was just a couple damage early in the game. And Lucas says, I'm going to go ahead and back my ATOG out of here. Taps his Mesa Ith. I'm sorry, he backed his Sedge Troll out of there. So he wouldn't fight the ATOG. And just passes. Joel's sending his ATOG in. Sacking the Ankh of Mishra to it. Lucas puts a regeneration on the Sedge Troll. And taps his Volcanic for a bolt, applying extra heat to ATOG's face. The rate things are going, I'm going to have to make some new lightning bolt clips. Bolt does take out that ATOG. Earthquake for 2. And that is game number 1, folks. Wow. The burn just comes in. Earthquake takes it. Joel's up 1-0. These two will swap out some cards and move on to game number 2. So Joel's up 1-0 in this Xpoints final. Lucas is on the play. Fires down a City of Brass and just a pass. Joel's got a Tundra and a Savannah Lions. That's a pretty hot start. And an immediate bolt for those cats. Joel needs to make an international phone call to PETA for Lucas's abuse to animals there on the Savannah Lions. Lucas does lose a point of life when he taps that City of Brass, so first blood has been done to himself. He's on 19. Joel's still sitting on 20. He does sneak out a Mishra's Factory. I hear that's a pretty good card. And Lucas missing a land drop there. Just a pass. Joel's tapping 1 for a new Savannah Lions. And there's a counterspell. Lucas dropping to 18. From that City of Brass. Oh, Lucas missing another land drop. This is tough. The Soul Ring hitting the board. Joel is showing off some of his points here. Just a pass back to Lucas. Man, he's got a full grip of cards. Losing another point down to 17 and kicks out a Fellwar Stone. And a Psy Blast back to Lucas's face. Wow, he drops to 13. Joel's on 18. Oh, Joel's got a Strip Mine and attacking the mana base of Lucas. Takes out the island. Wow. Might as well be aggressive. Double activating Factory, and here comes Factory for 2 more. Lucas dropping down to 11. Lucas does find a Badlands. And just a pass back. Joel says, I call your Badlands, and throws one down of his own. And just to pass back to Lucas, decides not to send his factory in. Yeah, I know that's a tough call. Maybe he has another plan. Oh, here comes a bolt. I think this is for Lucas's face. He taps one for a blue elemental blast. And says, no thank you, sir. I shall pass. Black Vice hitting the table. I'm sure Joel really wanted that. Well, turn one, this thing would have been over with. So decides not to send his factory in. Lucas is taking one from the Black Vice, dropping to 10. Dropping out another land. And playing Darrellor. Looking like a big 4-4 beater breathing down your face. Joel does have more burn. Shoves in a lightning bolt at the end of Lucas's turn, dropping him down to 7. Lucas is kind of starting to enter the danger zone here. Although he is away from that Black Vice pain as of now. Oh, Joel's powering out a Sage of Latnium. So the Sage can go to eating some artifacts for extra cards, and at this point, I'm sure he just wants to dig deep for burn. Lucas tapping 4 for a Shatterstorm. Wow, he's not going to get to eat any cards. Shatterstorm goes off. It's kind of a, well, it's a 2 for 2. But it does keep that Sage offline. Kind of surprised here Darrellor's hanging back. I guess he needs to be a blocker to stop the Factory and Sage from coming in. That makes sense. This is why these two are in the finals, and I'm already done for the month. I'm going to pass back over to Lucas. He's still sitting with 3 in hand. And just a quick pass back to his opponent. We've entered the Drago portion of the game. Oh, I lied. Joel has a Savannah Lions. I thought he was getting ready to pass back. I was wrong. Trying to apply some pressure here. Really, he only needs a couple creatures to sneak in a couple times. But look at this terror. Chooses the Sage of Latnium. I mean, he's kind of dangerous for the card advantage. Darrellor is still on blocking duty. But, I mean, if Joel activates both factories, sends everything in, 4 should get through, unless one of those other cards on Lucas's side is a bolt. Or swords. Well, he doesn't have swords. A bolt or shatter. Yeah, Darrellor just absorbing the Savannah Lion damage. Sending those cats straight to the bin. Joel tapping somewhere between 3 and 5 mana. Looks like he decides on 5. Ooh, Disintegrate for 4. And Lucas has a counterspell, says get that shit out of here. Darylor's coming in to do some damage. Joel's dropping to 14. Finds another Tundra. Yeah, full send on the factories here. Lucas does have one shatter. But he's going to drop to 5. And there's a Meek Stone. Oh shit, and there's a counterspell. Lucas batting that shit right back down. Wow. Meek Stone would have been a power play. I don't know if I've seen one on the channel. Maybe a long time ago. Being played out. Pretty cool. Darylor sneaks in for another 4. And there's another shatter. Holy shit. Lucas has all the answers. Joel's on 10. Dropping to 6. This game seems to be on fast forward. There's a Central. Joel needs to top deck something huge here. And he doesn't have it. There will be a game 3 for Xpoints 45. And here we go with game number 3 of Xpoints 45, the finals. Joel's on the play, and he had to take a mulligan, so starting with 6, Lucas has his full grip, 7 cards. This is it, Volcanic and pass. Lucas finds a Badlands, passes back to Joel. Factory into an ATOG. That's a solid turn 2. I think I heard Lucas say, do I kill it now or later? Tapping 2. Felwar Stone. Joel finds a City of Brass and yeah, full send. He's thinking about it. Yep, full send with his creatures, activating factory, sending in the ATOG in the factory. Lucas taking 3 to the face, dropping to 17. First blood's been had. Oh, Lucas has a bolt for the factory. Poor factory worker got electrocuted inside of that factory. Oh, look at this. Turn 3, Lucas powers out a Darylor. That's somewhat tough for Joel to answer. He does have the Side Blast. But other than that, I think he has to use at least 2 cards to get rid of it. ATOG coming in. Big body Darylor putting down the block. And a Chain Lightning. And Darylor's off to take a dirt nap with his ugly face. Joel firing out a strip mine. Attacking the blue mana source makes sense. And Lucas answers back immediately with another Darylor, the gift that keeps on giving. Joel's finding a Tundra and just a pass. And Darylor's crack-a-lacking down the street for 4, dropping Joel to 16. And 4 in for a disc. What a threat on the board. Can clear the board if he has to. Joel finds a Badlands. And drops to 12 from that Darylor. Lucas plays out a Chaos Orb. Oh, brutal. And a new Badlands. Joel tapping 2 for an ATOG. And a Ruby. Here comes Darylor again. Just a walking down the street. ATOG hops in the way of the bus. He's going to use that Ruby. Yeah, chooses not to. Darylor just plows through ATOG. Kind of feel like Lucas has the upper hand as he's still sitting on 17. And his creature is just punching Joel in the face. He's down to 8 now. And he plays out a Sedgetroll. Insult to injury here. Tapping 3 for a Wheel of Fortune. And Lucas shoves a bolt in his face, drops him to 5. Wow. He's going to have that 3 mana, and he needs to answer preferably both of those creatures with these 7 cards. Dropping a 4, Savannah Lions, and a Black Vice. So a way to apply some pressure, and a body blocker for the Darylor. Still has 5 in hand, passes back to Lucas. Lucas takes 3 from the Vice unless he has an upkeep effect. And sure enough, he does. Shatter on the Vice. I'm going to go ahead and take 2 though, drop to 15. And here come the big beaters in. Looks like a lightning bolt goes to the Sedgetroll. Lucas activates a Chaos Orb. It's a hit. Savannah Lions is dead, and that is game number 3, folks. Lucas takes this one 2-1 over Joel. So he demoted the champion from last month and promoted himself back to King of Xpoints. As always, thanks for watching. Have a good night.